Hey everybody, welcome back. We were just about to make our engagement roll with 5 dice to look out for Orthane Kingslayer and his horde of revenants. Was there any other setups that anybody thought of while we were off the air, or are we just going to go ahead and roll it with 5?
Well, since we're keeping a lookout, then would it make sense to just do a survey setup roll to just be aware and keep a lookout and see them coming, aside from anything that Irma is reporting to us?
That might be a good idea.
Yeah, that sounds sensible.
Grigsby.
Up for that, Grigsby?
I sure am.
I guess
Yeah,
the eyes.
that's probably controlled and normal.
Let's go. 5.
Okay. So you're staying up at all hours watching. So you're going to take a glancing hit of exhausted, but you manage to give the team another +1d. So you're up to 6 dice now to look out.
All right. I think that's good.
So for that glancing hit, you'll probably want to just pay 1 stress, or you could take a wound right now.
I'll take the one.
Are you sure?
I mean, yeah, I'm a golem.
Okie doke. Well, yeah, you will cross out that that wound because golems are tireless, and when you take a glancing hit and cross it as a wound, you gain 1 morale.
Right.
So, say that again?
So because glancing hits are so easy to get rid of, like you just pay 1 stress and they go away entirely, if you choose to take it as a wound, which is what it sounds like you're doing, then you gain 1 morale. It's called the adrenaline rule.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, if you're going to take your first wound now, you'll gain a morale.
Hard of hearing.
All right. So that's 6 dice on the engagement
Fortune
roll.
roll. Yeah. What could go wrong, as they say?
Well, we could roll all ones, 2s, and 3s, but the odds are pretty good for us.
All right. Should I go ahead and make the roll for you guys?
I'm fine with that.
6.
Okay.
So a 6 on a lookout roll is
King is dead.
controlled. You spot the enemy when they're still far off. So
Okay.
in the distance, you first see the zombies march forward in a wave ahead of the other forces. There are a few Ratha mixed in, which are the revenants who have died and then been reborn as vampires. And those vampires are directing the zombies. And then behind them are squads of furs who are their line troops who lay the eggs, and if they die, they get back up as one of the more advanced types. Behind them are the Mantry, which are the doctor mutants of them, who can spit Anbar and have surgical skills. And then even further behind them is the Orthane Kinslayer and the Ashva, which are his elite knights. And yeah, that's all you see for now. And then one of so they're marching towards your lines. But they're still out of range of like arrows and guns. And one of the revenants, Yuvraj, also known as a prince, which is the like a Raja but a little younger, is going to activate his mutation to turn enormous and become a gigantic threat 5 creature, bigger than anything you've ever seen before, unless you've seen a dragon. And he's going to charge out ahead of the army and come running straight in for your defenses.
Do we have a Megazord? You packed the Megazord, right?
No, but just then the canaries come swooping in off the line,
Megazord.
and they grapple up onto the creature, dive in under the armor plates of the helmet and start attacking it from the inside, and it grabs its head and he's like, and he stumbles off to the side and then collapses in the dust.
Attack on Titan.
And that seems to have shaken the enemy forces. They've stopped marching because they were kind of relying on that guy to break your lines.
Right, and he didn't. Okay.
Sick.
And
So that worked without us checking off a box?
yeah. That was the reward for the mission you just completed with saving the goblins.
Okay. We got a freebie. All right, cool.
Yeah, otherwise you would have had to fight him.
Grigsby. We are awesome.
Yep. Oh, and speaking of, I also have to tick off 2 of this clock because of the outfill thing. So actually, I could just make that a 4 o'clock for the zombies. It's getting easier
So
all the time.
can we? Do we have time? We waited until they came, right? So can we flash back to like where they currently are right now and like rig up our explosives?
Yeah, it'll cost stress if you want to successfully guess exactly what part of the big open field they're standing in, but you could do it.
Do you think, team, is that our next move, or let them come a little closer?
It might be worth spending a stress to attrit them at this point. I'm certainly willing to spend a supply on whatever is the most useful kind of explosive to work in the situation, dynamite or anything alchemical or whatever.
Yeah, dynamite would make sense. I think so. Right now, if you just set out 1 scale of dynamite, that'll have 0 effect on the zombies, but it's a soft 0. So if you don't want to set that up with pack to like really dig deep and get all of your dynamite, you could bump up the scale enough to have an effect there.
Yeah, I would spend a point of supply.
Yeah, you can't. Well, I guess I could let you just spend it outright, but normally you would roll pack, and then the consequences yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, that's fine. So yeah, I can roll. So I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you're saying. So yeah. I can roll pack.
Yeah, and that'll be a risky normal setup for you then actually planting the bombs.
All right, so
And
that's
so there's no stress on this. Yeah.
Okay, that's 2 dice.
Can I actually help with that?
Yeah, if you've got pack.
Oh, let me see. Oh, I don't think I have pack.
I have one.
I do. The reason why I was asking is because having a little bit of elixir or something in with that dynamite would.
It would probably evaporate from the explosion, but Philosopher's Stone would help.
Okay, so that would up the.
It would give it potency, which would improve the effect.
Yeah. Let's pack it with that. I'll totally take a stress and whatnot to help with that.
Right,
well,
so
it wouldn't cost you stress. It would cost you a supply.
Okay.
Mhm.
Got it.
So yeah, that's.
But you were going to spend supply on that Philosopher's Stone anyway, on having some.
Yeah, and so just having it is going to give you potency. So you're already up to limited against the zombies. But now this would also be a chance to roll pack yourself if you want to also set up this explosion. Irma.
So we're each doing so she's doing a setup action for me to do.
You're both separately considering setup actions for the same explosion.
For the same explosion. Okay. All right. So I'll do that. I have 2 dice.
So
And I get a 3.
All right. So you used up all of your explosives, but they're just not enough to up the scale.
All right. Well, let's see what Irma can do.
And if you want, you can resist that with awareness to still have a handful of explosives, like just enough for you.
No, I think I'm gonna need my stress.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Nice.
So you pack in lots of Philosopher's Stone. You've got enough to add fragmentation to all of the explosives, and so that'll bump that up to exceptional potency. So you are now having normal effect with the explosion.
Nobody packs
Got-
like a goblin.
Philosopher's Stone to spare.
Excellent,
story.
excellent.
True story.
And so setting out the explosives is going to cost stress because it's a flashback. Guessing the right spot and setting all the explosives without them seeing it, that's probably going to be 2 stress for whoever rolls it, and it'll be a survey roll to actually plant them in the right spot.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do not have survey.
I don't either.
I do.
I
Maybe
wonder
we knew
who could
someone
do
with
that.
Survey.
Only the hero of the story, Grigsby. Survey 3d6.
Yep, with 2 stress, and you will have a normal effect and risky position.
Do it.
Yeah.
All right. The zombie army marches out, and they stop, and then just as planned, how do you set them off?
Well, hold on. Do we want to blow it up on the front line or anybody later?
Yeah, you could delay it.
Team, any thoughts?
It's up to you.
So the Philosopher's Stone is going to have an effect on any of these.
Any of
creatures?
them. Elixir, Philosopher's Stone,
It's
and
only exceptional against undead, so it'll only be exceptional effect against the zombies and the Ratha. Against all the other enemies, it'll get through their armor, but the extra level that that was packed in there won't benefit you.
So we need to actually use it now,
Yeah,
from the sounds of it.
I think we try to attrit the zombies as much as we can, and then we fight the enemy, the heroes.
Here we go.
Whoever's rolling this could also. Oh wait, yeah, you already rolled a 6. Yeah, so just how are you detonating it is the question.
With my cigar.
Okay. And the fuse.
Boom. Yeah.
And it blasts apart the whole area, and these zombies are sent flying in every direction. Even the ones who are at the edge of the explosion have got big chunks of Philosopher's Stone in them that release a bright flash of light, and then the zombie just drops over dead like a puppet who's had its strings cut. And so you have wiped out half of the zombies. And since you sort of detonated it in the middle, I'm going to go ahead and reduce their scale. And reflect that, but give them a little bit of that clock back.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's still a lot of them, but in smaller numbers per group.
Okay. So how many zombies are there now?
Let's see. Scale 3 is like 27, and you've got 3 ticks on the clock, so about 100.
Okay.
No, wait, that's bad math. Like 80 or 90.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's a good initial action on our part.
I would concur. Can't think of anything else specifically that Irma would have unless they get closer, because all of her stuff is pretty close range.
Yeah. Well, we had talked about having spikes with Philosopher's Stone hidden right behind the wall, right on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, they're not up. They're not up and close to the wall yet. They're just about to march. Yeah,
it's not time for that.
Yeah, they're at extreme range right now. So unless anybody's got like a sniper rifle or something, there's maybe not anything to do.
Oh.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So if nobody has anything to do with it, we can just let them advance, or somebody can take an action roll.
Can I try to set up the entire army by like looking to funnel their path to, I guess, where they come? Is there like a choke point that
there's a choke point behind your walls.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's not currently one in front of you, but with a really good survey roll, you could make one appear and have always been there.
Sure, let's try that.
Okay, so what are you looking for here? Is there a cliff, a fire swamp?
Are we in what type of environment are we in?
So this is a sea cliff. And then the city is built down in a cavern to that. So I'm sort of picturing it as just like scrubland, but it can be changed depending on your survey roll here.
Maybe there's some kind of ravine.
That would make sense.
Okay. Is this what position is this?
Controlled, and then your effect is probably limited.
I'm gonna push.
Okay.
That's smart. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Who needs stress? This will be an easy fight.
Hey, we get extra powers when we're exhausted.
Yep.
So pushing for effect.
Yeah, but we can't resist at that
Oh,
point.
actually, I don't need to. You know why? Because I have attention to detail, improved effect when you set up with survey.
There you go. All right, now you're at controlled normal, just to roll it.
Cool. 5.
There you go. So you point out to everyone that there's a ravine there, and always has been, and they say, "Oh, that's a good point." But while you are making a point of the ravine, the army has now advanced to long range, and so there is now an exchange of a few shots from the enemy and a lot of shots from the town, but guns and bows, which aren't doing much of anything to the zombies.
Do they have any large? Does the town have large weapons up on these walls, or is it just small
So
stuff?
at the two towers that we're facing out towards the sea have heavy cannons that are designed to like kill krakens, but they're pointed in the wrong direction right now.
Can we flash back to having made modifications to these cannons to be able to fire toward where we expect where we had expected the enemy to come from, and in fact have come from?
Yeah, pivoting the cannon around would be a very hard lift roll. Re-engineering the tower so that it's possible to slide the cannon around would be a moderately difficult survey roll.
I think that's worth doing. I think we're going to need that firepower. Is that going to be a stress cost, or would you call that just an obvious thing?
That's free for sure.
Yeah, okay. Well, Grigsby, once again, your survey abilities come into play.
Okay, sure.
Because I don't think any of us has lift.
No.
Well, he's really good with maps and telescopes and stuff. Don't forget, Grigsby is a detective.
This is another case where you could probably make an argument for Dabble, since you are trying to do engineering.
Yeah, actually it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna talk to people instead.
Again, GM favorite.
All right, so you're gonna
Don't
do
hate the play, hate the
something
game.
something smart with.
Hate the game.
Please don't hate the game.
Yeah, don't hate the game either.
No, so you're gonna do something.
Smile, Ray.
Something smart with levers and pulleys and so on to turn the cannon around.
That is exactly how I talk about science.
And that'll probably be risky limited in terms of how much time it's taking you and how hard it's going to be to get these cannons turned around where they're not meant to fire.
Okay, that's fine. Let's try. Yes, limited effects.
So limited effect, you've got it pivoted halfway around, and it could now shoot down into the town when the enemies get there, but it can't yet shoot them in the field. So if you roll it again, another limited effect will get it turned all the way around.
Risky right now still?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, big money. Yeah!
All right, you've got one of the two cannons
Nice.
shifted to be facing the battlefield, and back in the present, you guys now have that cannon ready to fire.
And it's behind us. So
Yep.
Does it have the ability? Is it artillery where it could do indirect fire over the wall on these guys?
Yes.
Okay. And it's got a crew ready to go.
Yeah, it's got townsfolk who can use it.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not going to fire on their own, but it'll be a huge setup for you to hunt or emote to get them to shoot for you.
Okay. Would it make sense to do a setup action to have the battlefield sighted in?
Yeah, that would improve their fortune roll for hitting.
Yeah.
Survey and hunt would both be valid actions for that.
Yep. So Grigsby, guess what? It would be wonderful for you to have the battlefield all mapped
Or
out.
Irma
and
will
they have,
kind of just like sigh with like deep anguish.
They fired some ranging shots to just get the range to see exactly where to fire to hit specific spots on the battlefield, and you would have surveyed the battlefield for that purpose.
Do it
Sounds
because
good to
you're
me.
my friends.
Oh my God, another
Oh,
6
positivity!
dialed in. All right, so that'll be +1d on the
Oh.
fortune roll when they fire.
Great.
You want them to take their shot now?
Sure.
Yeah, I actually totally forgot. So you don't need to use hunter emote to get them to fire, because they already have it loaded. I know that it's aimed. They just make it.
Irma was
fortune
gonna
roll.
do this whole entire speech of like, we really need a hero or anything, but you know.
All right, Grigsby,
give
you're
them
up there.
time.
Do you have an opinion on whether they should fire an explosive shell for maximum damage or an alchemic canister to cover the area in a certain alchemic substance?
Oh, we have
Covering the
philosophers.
substance actually might be a really good thing.
Yeah,
Cool.
there's
Done.
options.
Rain of substance it is.
Yeah, there's lots of substances that they've got on hand. You could use
That's a range of substances sounds great.
Ambar
Plethora.
to get them all sticky. You could use elixir to melt their armor. If you flooded the battlefield first, you could then shoot out Karinga to turn it into a mirror and drop them into Ildefak. You could just shoot out Red Mercury and see what happens. There's a
All-
lot of elements you can
All
play
of the
with.
above.
We
In
can
a
just mix
dangerous
them all
cocktail.
together.
Yeah.
One canister at a time.
Well, I kind of like the idea of doing something to damage their armor.
Yeah, elixir will damage the armor of the furs, and it will actually just like melt the zombies. Like it'll do direct damage because they're weak to northern elements.
Is it up to Grigsby?
Yeah, they're asking Grigsby.
All of the above. Stop every
They've
single
only got one canister.
Can we? Oh, we only got one canister.
I mean, we can load and fire another one after, but which one's our first one?
One at a time.
Well, the best one first. The longest lasting.
Okay.
So which one's that?
Probably Anbar would stick around the longest.
And that is the one that melts their armor, right?
Nope, that's the one that just makes them sticky.
That's Irma's stick.
Right. Let's not. Yeah, let's say
Elixir, or actually doing Ambar may be a good thing because then the ants or anything else we shoot at them might actually like stick. However, elixir to melt the armor, I think, is a better option
Let's roll
because
a dice.
that's what really protects them.
I'm gonna roll for it. So what are the substances?
They could just fire an explosive shell. They could fire Anbar. They can fire elixir. They could fire. What else was a good idea, guys?
Red.
Red Mercury. Yeah, that's kind of a good idea.
Yeah.
What would Red Mercury do?
Well, it would explode
Oh, okay.
as soon as somebody gets angry near it. Their black iron would keep them from setting it off, but then somebody could run out and get angry at them to blow it up.
Just the one that's against the the one that's against the black iron.
Yeah, the elixir.
Elixir.
Let's go with that. Yeah.
All right.
That sounds the most useful right
All right. I will go ahead and make a 3d6 fortune roll to see how close their shot lands. 4. Near miss. So the elixir splashes down. Half of it gets on the zombies, and half of it goes down the ravine.
Sucker.
That will be 1 tick on the zombies' clock, as some of them just straight out melt. and it will take the armor off of the frontline furs.
It's
Cool.
been key.
Is there a clock for them getting to our walls?
No, they're just going to keep advancing by range. Right now they're at long, and
Okay.
next consequence they'll move up to medium and then
All right.
melee.
Well, I think it makes sense for this cannon to keep shooting as long as it has targets.
Okay.
Well,
So reloading a cannon, you can do with lift, or you can command them to do it with hunt, or I think there's one other thing you can use to load it.
Can we load an Irma in a cannon?
Finesse.
Sure.
yeah.
You can load Irma into a cannon.
I mean, strategically.
Wait,
Strategically.
Well, she does like flying through the air, but I don't think in this manner.
Oh, and then the other thing I was going to mention is that Orthane is going to put his command focus on that tower. So if you
Yeah.
take any actions that he can perceive up in there, he'll get a controlled consequence.
All right. And do we have a sense of what he could do to the tower at this range, or do we not know?
He'll probably just spend the consequence to move his army forward.
Okay. So that's it.
Yep.
But his army's moving forward anyway, so we might as well take the shot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a couple of dice and dots in finesse. If nobody else has anything to do, that would get this thing reloaded.
I can't really do anything but help assist you. Because like all of my stuff is close range. So
All right.
like I'm more than happy to give assists and stuff like that.
Okay. That would bring me up to 3 dice.
Okay. I'll go ahead and mark it.
I rolled 5 times in a row, so I don't think I should roll anymore.
And so what action is this you're using?
Finesse?
Okay, so you're physically up there in the tower with the cannon too.
Yeah, I think I'm helping them load the cannon.
Mm-hmm. And what are you loading this time? The ammo choices for a cannon is you can do a cannonball, an explosive shell, grape shot, or an alchemic canister.
Well, I think that. So we can fire grape shot indirect. So it's sort of.
No, grape shot's not actually long enough range. I'm just mentioning it to be complete.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't think that would be a viable option for ammunition. What about the Anbar is sticky?
Yeah. So that could be used to stop a group of enemies in the place so that they can't advance until they break out of it.
All right. And how hard will it be for them to break out of it?
Probably a risky consequence.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. So does it make sense, do you think, to do Anbar? Or do we want to do things more damaging again?
I think more damaging right now would be good because if they were to release their cloud of what they do, they wouldn't be immune to that anymore.
All right.
Yeah, if you melted all their armor.
Yeah.
So another round of elixir?
Yeah, and if it's a direct hit this time, it'll finish off the zombies as well.
Okay. All right, so 3 dice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 3.
All right. So you pick up the elixir shell and you try to load it in and drop it off the side of the tower.
All right.
Oh man!
I had such good luck earlier. Now it's about.
And so I'm going to break that into 2 consequences. Controlled consequence, they're out of alchemic canisters, so you'll have to get some more if you want to keep firing alchemy. And then the other controlled consequence is that the army is going to move up to medium range.
Right. I don't think I want to resist. Well, I'm wondering if I should resist that consequence of being out of alchemical.
Yeah, that's very powerful.
I think awareness would make sense in both cases. Getting more alchemic canisters would cost a supply if somebody wants to pull out their own.
Right. I only have 1 supply left. I think I'm going to resist.
Irma has some that she can always use.
Okay. Well, then I can save the stress, and you can use a point of supply.
Yeah, actually, technically, don't I naturally have a supply of elixir? No, I have a natural supply of Anbar.
It's
Yeah.
a supply of the canisters to fire to put the alchemical stuff into.
Yeah, they've still got enough elixir for now.
We're
Okay.
homies with the Jelly Queen. Right.
All right. So do we want to take another shot?
Yeah, let's do it. It's the
All
only
right,
thing
I
we have
two
right
dice
now.
in finesse for reloading this thing.
Are
Okay,
we
and so
resisting them
Irma's-
getting into closer range?
Yeah, they're coming.
So that'll be an awareness resist if somebody wants to make it do it as a protect or otherwise.
Yeah, I'll do it as a protect.
Okay.
Because that gains me
Right.
an additional die, and I gain no wait. I get a +1 die to my resist rolls, and it takes 1 less stress to push myself on actions taken to defend.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll go ahead and do that.
Mhm.
And do. So that is, you said awareness?
Yeah. Yeah, because
Okay.
you're just trying to make Jack not waste as
Mhm.
much time.
Ah, critical.
You heal a stress. Too bad you weren't dieharding.
Right?
And if you didn't have any stress, you gain 1 morale.
Nice.
I had technically 1, so I
Well,
can.
now it heals. There you
Okay.
go.
Those subscribes, I can't touch this tool.
All right, so the enemies are not at medium, and it sounded like Irma's pulling out a supply of heavy cannon alchemy canisters that she carried around for just this sort of situation.
Always.
How very convenient.
Be prepared.
All right.
All right.
So we can take another alchemy shot with this thing while they're still a little ways from the walls.
Yep.
Okay. I have 2 dice in finesse
Mhm.
for reloading.
Irma could assist now that she's also there. The whole party's in the
can.
tower. Yep.
Yeah. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, I'll assist.
Okay, that's 3 dice. Let's see if I can roll decently this time.
There you
6.
go.
Okay.
Chunk. It is loaded in. Now somebody just needs to aim it.
Okay.
And
And that's usually
survey
hunt.
and hunt are the 2
Survey and
used.
hunt.
Yep.
Grigsby, you want to fire this thing?
No. I'll leave it up to you, Jack.
All right. I have.
Flashes back to previous mission. Nope.
You could there is a crew here. You could also emote to inspire them to do it themselves.
All right. Well, I have 1 die in hunt and 0 dice in emote.
Grigsby, the hero that people seem to want.
Not the
Let
hero
them
who's
eat
here.
cake.
We
Can
need.
you please help us so great and dry wooded Grigsby, Gollum, yada yada yada.
Never wanted this, okay? never wanted to be a hero. All right, roll 3d6. I'm gonna emote, so that's what I'm
Yeah.
gonna say.
So that'll be risky normal.
5.
Okay. So the crew turns the cannon and aims it, and they're like, "All right, we're ready to take the shot." And just then, as a risky consequence, a crossbow bolt comes flying in through the narrow little window that the cannon was aimed through, and thump, sticks right in Grigsby's chest.
Rude.
So that is a wound.
Okay. It's merely a chest wound.
You're just gonna take your second wound of the mission.
Yeah.
All right. And then you notice that there is a red fungus on it that is stuck to your chest.
That I will resist. I don't want no fungus. Okay, what's awareness? I feel like that's awareness.
Yeah, awareness would definitely work.
Roll 2d6. Ooh.
Okay, no
Yeah.
stress.
Right.
And so the crossbow and the red fungus tries to stick to you, and you yank the bolt out and toss it over the tower. And as it tumbles through the air, the fungus glows and then explodes in midair.
All right.
And looking out, you see that there is a furs way in the furthest back lines of the enemy with a huge crossbow drawing back another bolt. And they've put their controlled focus on this tower also.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna flick him off from afar.
That would be the first sniper.
Yep, that would be the sniper.
All right.
All right. So it's all ready to fire now. Somebody want to roll the fortune roll? It'll only be 2d6 this time because it wasn't a greater effect to aim it.
Oh, I haven't rolled a fortune in a while.
There you go.
Okay.
Take the shot. 4. So another near
4.
miss. So that'll tick the zombie clock again. And this time the furs have their armor completely melted off, so they no longer benefit from potent armor, and they are now vulnerable to their own death mist.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, want to load up and fire another shot?
Yes. Let's do it.
All right. I can make a finesse roll.
Yep.
2 dice.
6. Thunk. All right. The shell is loaded. Now it just needs to be aimed.
I'm gonna aim at the survey, right?
Yep.
Sniper has a death wish. I tell you what.
You can try to go for it.
Oh, I'm definitely going to try.
And this is another elixir shell?
This is what do we have left?
Everything. You have it. You've lost
yeah.
nothing.
Well,
the only reason I ask is that the furs are no longer going to be impacted by elixir because they
Right. So it might make sense to go with something else.
Yep.
Do we want to go with the sticky stuff?
An explosive shell would damage the zombies and the furs.
All right. Yeah, I think you're right.
Snipers?
No, if you want to go after the sniper, you'd probably be better off with, well, probably still an explosive shell, or a cannonball.
Yeah.
Probably the explosive shell.
I would like to do that.
Okay.
What's my effect?
So you're shooting the individual furs way in the back. So you should have, well, what is the range for a cannon? Extreme. Yeah, okay, so they're in your effective range, so you'll have normal effect to hit them.
I'm gonna push myself to elevate that.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna use my morale.
Okie doke.
And I'm gonna push my stress. I'll do both.
Yeah, pay one morale and 1 stress.
Yep.
Mhm.
So plus die and plus effect, and I'm going to roll.
Oh, so you're paying 4.
4. Isn't it morale's 1, right?
So you pay 2, and that can be either morale or stress that you're paying. But you pay 2 to push.
Sure. So I need to do 1 more. There you go. I'm at 5.
Morale is not worth double.
Yep.
Okay. Rolling for survey, right?
Yep. And now you'll have greater effects. You'll add an extra die to the fortune roll. 4. Okay. So
Wow.
you do aim it, and you aim it with the improved extra die. And the first sniper is going to shoot you with another crossbow bolt. Good. You take another wound.
How many can you take?
3.
Isn't this the 3rd one?
It is. Might want to resist or use some armor here.
Oh, I'll use the armor.
Does this have fungus on it?
Yes. So if Grigsby doesn't completely avoid it, then he'll take the fungus consequence again too.
Cool. I am
so-
using my armor.
Armor knocks it down to a glancing hit, and then you can pay 1 stress to knock it away completely.
Cool.
Okay.
This mission is pissing Grigsby off.
So another bolt comes, and this one you turn and it sticks in your armor, and you pull it out, and you're just like, "Arr!" I am stressed.
Now
As
tell me
he
about my
literally gets
success.
shafted multiple times.
What did the 4 get me? Tell me I hit him.
You didn't hit him, but you've got the cannon lined up in a perfect way, so it'll be a 3-die fortune roll to hit whoever you want to hit.
Freaking sniper. Definitely the sniper.
Okay, and you're using the explosive shell. It sounded like.
Yeah. Blow this guy away.
Yeah, this should, even on a near miss, it should completely obliterate him so hard that he can't even come back to life. Was that the fortune roll there?
3d6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
roll
the
it.
explosive shell flies across the battlefield over all the armies, and the one individual sniper looks up at it, and you see his mouth move, and then he explodes in an enormous explosion that
was so
completely
satisfying. That was
deletes
so
him.
satisfying. That was my most satisfying roll, I think, all campaign.
You were pissed at those crossbow bolts.
He kept on shitting at me.
And then I'm also going to go ahead and put a tick on the Ratha commander's guard clock because he was within the blast radius of that, and he was just sort of like, ah.
Good. Good.
Let's load it up again.
And then he will go ahead and put his risky focus also on the guard clock.
Okay.
On the guard clock?
Sorry, on the guard tower.
Okay. I thought that was what you meant, but
Yeah.
okay.
He's really far away, right? What can he do?
You can move his troops further up.
I'm sorry. It's really hard to listen to you when you're like having multiple giant shafts of javelin arrows sticking out of your chest, and you're like knocking into things as you turn. So sorry.
It's okay. I don't feel anything. It's all right. It's kind of fun. They're like,
Just because you don't feel anything doesn't mean that it's not important.
Just gonna do a little shake. Dun, 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 dun. Okay.
You did this, Jock. You did this.
All right. How close is the
All right.
army at this point now?
So you've actually effectively been holding them back. So they're still at long range.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're slowing them down.
Keep firing this thing. Yeah, let's keep
Yep.
firing and try to aim for the same spot that
All right.
Grigsby just did.
Load up another shot.
Yep.
So that's so I'm rolling 2 dice in finesse to get it loaded
Yep.
at a 6.
All right. Load the shell in. Click. And now it just needs to be aimed again.
Grigsby.
Yeah.
You know the
We-
guy that you recently shot at or had the crew shoot at?
Hmm.
Yeah. Aim right there again.
Okay.
That the empty crater in the ground.
Well, I
behind
mean,
the enemy
like-
army.
Go a little bit further, but you know.
Hitting. So the Ratha, right? That's what we're aiming for.
You're aiming for the commander of the Ratha?
That's yeah.
Okay.
And Grigsby is gonna. What's my position in effect?
So your position is still risky and your effect is still normal.
Does he still have the focus on me?
Yes, but he can't see you, so he can't actually use his focus.
Okay, and Grigsby is gonna mutter to his breath as he's aiming. Be one with the palm. Yes.
All right. Dialed in. So, fortune roll time with 2d6 this time.
So I roll the fortune roll.
Hey, You want me to roll the fortune rolls? Here,
Yeah.
I'll roll the fortune rolls.
Here,
Let's
roll
do the fortune rolls.
Don't bring no air. Oh!
And the explosive
critical.
shell
Yeah.
spirals in straight at the Ratha commander.
Are we sure it's the commander and not the king?
He
Just
spends
party over?
2 ticks on his guard clock, and he's going to use his vampiric agility to crouch and then throw himself straight up into the sky. And the shell will hit under him. Boom! And some of the fragments are going to hit him, so he's going to spend his last guard clock tick to also deflect those. And he is now fine, and he's flying up in the sky now. so he can see straight into the tower now.
Right, but his guard.
Body's in trouble.
I'm
Man,
wondering if now is the time to use any of our ally points to get them to do a thing to hurt him or the army.
Yeah, because what we've limited one. Yeah, we still have a lot to do.
There's still plenty of stuff that we need to get through.
Commander.
So that's the Ratha commander. Or should we save that?
Maybe we should finish this off the zombies if they only have 1 tick left, right? So
Yep. Yeah, the zombies are pretty worn out by all the elixir bombardment that they've been taking.
Mm-hmm. Then maybe we just keep firing and try to take the rest of the zombies out.
or maybe now's a good time to do the sticky play, slow the battle down.
I'm sorry, do the
Also,
what?
actually, if we were to shoot the vampire, he's flying, right?
Yeah, which means anything you shoot at him, unless it's a direct hit, it'll just fly past him and not do anything.
Yeah, we're not getting.
Yeah.
He's going to be really hard to
Yeah.
hit with a cannon.
So
Okay,
I
hold on.
say we use Ambar and we sticky up the battlefield and just slow everything down.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
All right, so I need to reload.
Yep.
Finesse, that's 2 dice. We'll see how that goes.
All right.
4.
So before you roll, the Ratha commander, oh no, he's focusing on the tower. Technically, you're not the tower. So you load it in, and then the consequence is that the enemy army is going to move from long range all the way into close range, and they're going to start engaging with the soldiers on the walls.
Okay, so they managed 2 range bands.
Yeah, because it was a risky consequence.
Okay.
So you can resist that down to them only doing 1 range band, but you can't completely stop them from moving unless you
Yep.
die hard.
Right.
Irma.
Right. No, I'm good.
Don't I have a diehard?
Yeah, if you wanted to, you could completely stop their motion, but you're risking a lot of stress. Or maybe you'll crit and gain 2 morale. It'll be with awareness.
No, I'll keep. Well, wait. This is resisting, right?
Yep.
This is resisting.
You're using your amazing time stop powers.
I can double my stress right now. That could be really bad.
It could exhaust you in a single roll.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
it
easily.
can. Yes, it can. But I could do some badass stuff.
Hey, we still have bodies.
Might want to
Huh?
save it.
Yeah.
You guys aren't even at the wall they're attacking right now, so
Nope.
it's really just sacrificing NPCs.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like nobody's gonna resist then?
Nope.
All
No.
right. So while you fill up from the Anbar supply, the enemy army has moved to the front line.
Okay.
All right. Now somebody want to aim?
Yep.
And the Ratha commander, because he can see in, he's going to change his focus to the cannon specifically. So anyone who does anything with the cannon, he's going to react to that.
Mm-hmm.
How much guard does he have left?
None. You've used it all up.
What's his clock? We don't know.
He doesn't have any clocks left. That's it.
Oh,
All right. How far is he from the tower?
I'd say long range would make sense.
So I could shoot him with my pistol since I have an ability that allows me to fire at long range.
Mm-hmm.
What if I were to do that? What effect would I be at?
So let's see. Your pistols are threat 1 and he's threat 3. So 0 for that. And then it's hard 0 because he's got armor, and then it's extra hard 0 because he's got evasion and you don't currently have scale.
Right. So pushing myself wouldn't get me far enough to be able to do anything here.
Well, if pushing yourself triggers your
Fin hammer.
then that would give you pushing for effect would get you up 1. Then that would remove the evasion, and then the scale itself would help. So that would get you all the way to soft 0 just from the pushing.
Soft, oh goody. But still 0.
Yeah,
with the push.
and risky. So yeah,
Right, of course it would.
So you could trade that then up to Deathwish normal and kill him in 1 shot.
Ooh.
Deathwish, no. We don't want Deathwish. I mean, we want to
Deathwish
play
normal
Deathwish, but we don't
and
want to
push for effect could get you there.
Oh, that's
He's
actually
tempting. Ian is tempting
Don't
us.
do it. Don't do it.
Yeah,
That's how
well,
you
that's
die.
his job. That's what he's
That's how you die is when you
If
pick
you-
Deathwish.
You could also go up to desperate normal if you've got a source of potency, like Philosopher's Stone bullets are potent against the undead.
Well, we
Yes, he
could
does.
flash back to having set up some bullets with Philosopher's Stone. Yes,
Yeah, that's something you can have a supply of.
right.
So if you want to spend a point of supply, that would help you out here.
Yep. My remaining point of supply.
That would
I-
put you at risky limited.
Risky limited. I'm gonna and even though he's used up his guard clock, that would only partially take him out.
Yeah, so you'd
Um,
probably want to trade up to desperate normal.
Yeah. And normal would take him out.
Yes.
Okay. That's tempting.
Yeah, and right now his focus is on the cannon, so he won't get to use it on you.
Right. I'm gonna give that a shot.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend 2 stress
Mhm.
to do that. That gives me 4 dice. I'll take the shot.
Okie doke. 6. Blam, blam, blam.
Nice.
And he dodges, and then another bullet. And each bullet that hits him explodes in a bright flash of light as the Philosopher's Stone in the miasma in his body annihilate. And you have killed the Rotha commander.
Awesome.
All right. And it is 6:30 now, so I think we're gonna wrap up here. And then next week you can take out Orthane Kinslayer, his bodyguard, his furs, his zombies, and the Nemesis.
That'll be so easy.
So again, just like last week, don't mess with your character sheets, and we'll just pick up right where we left off.
Cool.
All right. Ray?
Yeah, so this has been a production of Hacked in the Dark, which is based out of the Blades in the Dark server, which is run by lovely people like Miss Mistletoe Kiss.
Hello. Yes, so lots of great, wonderful people and community within the server, and many systems like this are created and designed and talked about and troubleshooted and everything. So we'd love to see you. Come on in, say hi, and thank you so much for being with this week, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Oh, and on the topic of great discussions about mechanics, the next episode of the Hacked in the Dark podcast is coming out soon. You're not going to want to miss it. It is an interview with Strosh, the creator of sorry, what was that? Oh, no, somebody just sneezed. Okay. The creator of Band of Blades and Scum and Villainy.
Yep.
Thank you.
And then just one more thing, which is that we'll be finishing up this series with Deathwish. And then after that, the following week, we'll be starting a series where I will be GMing my game, Vergence, which is a game about interdimensional conflict and family drama.
Sounds great. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you so much, guys.